Hey guys, welcome to another voiceover painting process. I'm going to be doing I'm going to be doing the kind of not exactly the same pose, but the Jacko pose, which originated from Jacko Valentine from no, from Guilty Gear. And then yeah, because one of her poses is pretty interesting, so it started a trend basically. And I thought I kind of do it, but it's not exactly the same pose, just has the same back arch but facing the air type of theme. And I choose Sonia from Pokemon. Um, Originally, I wanted to do just another summer slash bikini piece with her, but you know what? I guess I'll just use her as for this challenge instead. So as you can see, trying something slightly different. I lined her up. We're gonna try to see if I can do kind of something a little different. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. I might go back to the painted style later on. But yes, I'm gonna try to do a little bit in between cell shading and painting, and hopefully the lines will help. That's why I made my sketch a little cleaner. But yeah, this is what we have, and let's start by. So this is my sketch. I'm gonna put it on multiply, lower it a bit. Let's start by painting the skin, roughly the skin, and so I'm gonna try to think, okay, where is the lighting coming from? So let's have the lighting coming from this side. Let's go here, change to be a bit pinker. So we're gonna have the shadow on this side and the highlight towards the upper left of her. So I'm just gonna do some basic shading here. And I'm going to quickly do a rough color of her general outfit, and I'm basically taking the colors from her official art so that you know the colors are as accurate as they're gonna get. I'm doing a kind of not a super clean job, just trying to get the basic color palette going. Grab her trench coat color. So just gonna be kind of rough with it. Probably gonna be mostly in shadow around this area. Get a bit of lighting going. Back to the finger. I'm gonna just roughly paint it in. I'll worry about that later. And then her hair. Actually, before that, I gotta shade this part and then the hair. And again, I am using up kind of the official color. So, okay, so this is the first layer. I'll add the hearts a little later. Gonna add a bit of shadow throughout the hair part, especially where there's like a fold or bending in the hair. Get a bit of shadow going, especially around this area. Let's darken that up a bit. Blend that out. Her skin is now a bit too on the pinky side, so I'll gradually be adding a bit more yellow tone onto her skin tone to balance it out. Add some shadow near the clavicle. Let's go for a bit of gray. Bring the gray over. Add a bit of shadow around here. Darken that area. We're going to add a bit of shadow here. Probably gonna render this part out a bit more later, but let's move on to the bottom. Let's go ahead, shade it up, and then apply base for the leggings as well as for the boots. Alright, so okay, so we're gonna have keep in mind where the shadow is coming from that side, from the top left. And okay, probably need to render the leg out a little later. Let's add some rim light onto the leggings and then highlight for the bottom. So we're gonna keep most of the lighting towards that side, the upper left, yes, upper left side. Probably gonna get a bit of lighting on the back. And then the rest will be kind of shadow like this. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So this is what we have for the base. It's kind of rough, but just trying to establish the lighting. And usually I would probably refine it even more than this, but I want to see if I can work with the lines a bit more. Usually I would opt to paint over them and whatnot. Let's go for lighting coming from the side. So I'm gonna keep the lighting towards the upper left once again on the face as well. And okay, let's go ahead at the whites of the eyes and then quick eyeball color application. And I'm gonna have her tongue stick out a little bit. I don't know, I was trying to figure out what type of expression, but I felt like maybe a smile would be just too I just wanted to do something different than just a smile, basically. So maybe sticking out tongue is the next best option. Or something like that. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do a bit of shadow inside the face, as well as doing a bit of drop down shadow from the hair. Next up is applying the hair itself. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm gonna take a bit of the shadow, gonna work it into the hair. Like that. I'll put the glasses on later, but yeah, here we go. I have a base going, now going on to the plane that she's lying on. I had wanted to be kind of like a smushy texture, or a smushy plane, like a soft plane. Let's go ahead and add the shadow to it. Okay. Forgot to record my steps, but I don't think there is all that much to record, but I shall do it anyways. And one without the color. Alright, so this is what we have. Okay, that's not too bad. Alright. I just flipped it real quick just to check out how it looks, basically. When you flip something, it refreshes your mind a bit. It's not too bad. So I'm gonna see if I can do this, as in if I can work with the lines. Oftentimes I just want to basically paint over them and stuff, but let's see if I can just work with them this time, or at least lower the lines. Okay, so first off, let's make this section here. Gonna add some shadow along that side. And onto the bra section. Go back here. I'm gonna start by adding some shadow of the bra onto her torso. Bra strap shadow onto the torso. And I'm gonna start rendering out her clavicle and stuff like that. Same goes for here. I'm going to shade the chest and basically blend it in. Blend it a bit better, and there needs to be a certain amount of sharpness to the shading in certain areas for it to work. Let me go ahead, line it up. Let's do that bra strap shadow here. Add the shading in that area. This part needs to be a bit darker, and probably around here too, so I'm just going to darken it up a bit more. Blur it up with the smudge tool, or slightly. Going to the hand now, so I'm going to clean it up first. Add drop down shadow, cast it from the what's it called, the trench coat. Yes, the trench coat. And we're gonna start adding in some basic shadow to the fingers. Add some pinky tones near the joints and the tip of the finger. Add some more shadow where it's needed. Let's do a little shadow near that part of the hand, and then as well as add a little highlight near that area of the hand, just to emphasize on the change in lighting. Accentuate the knuckles. I'm gonna go ahead, do a little rim light towards the bottom of the fingers. Back to the trench coat now. I'm gonna use the lasso tool for a bit, and basically we'll do just layer on a bit more shadow. So let's go ahead and do that, and gonna change the color tone a bit. And I'm going to even make her coat have a bit of a duller color to make it look a bit more realistic, and then go here, darken it, darken. This is basically the drop down shadow of the coat onto her arm. And we're gonna bring this shadow, blend it in to the character. here. I'm going to do another big shadow of her her shoulder blade is kind of popping out a bit here. Go ahead and add some more shadow around there. Bring up the highlight around this area. So this part needs to be a bit sharper. Add some rim light under here. Blend that in. Just basically blending it in a bit more. Okay, so now maybe I could use a bit more shadow there, and we shall have a bit of rim light going here. Let's add a bit of gray tone around there. And let's continue the rim light, add a tiny bit of warm tone. Actually, should I? Add a bit of warm tone in this direction. And we'll do the same to the bra. And the hand as well, so the hand shaded up, add a tiny bit of rim light, especially around each finger. Let's go ahead, add a bit of warm tone here. Blend that in. And I'm gonna go add a bit of gray tone. Bit throughout the piece, throughout the whole piece. Take a bit of her skin tone from the official art. Gonna include it. Take a bit of that, add it as a highlight on the bikini. Blend it in. Blend it in here too. Take this. Up here too, add a bit of the highlight up there, bring it goes all the way through to there. I wanted her to be wearing a bit of a like a turquoise color. Okay, so that's what we have. I wonder if I can kind of readjust the lines a bit. So this is the top, and going back to the coat here. Let's continue. To shade it a bit. The flap will need to be pretty clean. Like that. Keep it fairly kind of flat and clean in terms of shading and stuff, and then we have to go onto each of the shoulder area and blend it out, shading in each of the folds and whatnot. Go ahead and use the lasso tool to help me keep it nice and, well, at least cleaner the better, right? And just gonna go about shading, and normally I know that I kind of, by doing this, part of the lighting gets lessened. The light source is kind of a little bit less emphasized because I'm refining some of these areas, which later on we're gonna have to readjust the lighting a bit to bring it back. But this face, I'm going to spend it on basically just blending stuff out and shading it in a pretty generic way without too much emphasis on the lighting and stuff. There we go. Go here, I'm gonna be blending it in a bit more. Clean that up. This part might be a bit tricky. Nope, actually. I guess I'll just keep it like that. Just gonna darken it a bit. Take a bit of the rim light. I want it to be more on the yellow side. Bring it down like that, and then over here I would like for this part to be a bit cleaner. with a bit more shadow, especially around the shoulder part. I want the hair to be draped over the shoulder a bit, so darken that part. Render out the coat, the trench coat. Darken this area up. And I'm gonna add a bit of rim light on this part of the trench coat. Might not be, need to be a bit more refined. Let me darken it a bit more. Gonna go ahead, add her black wristband. Add a bit of pinkiness to the tip of the finger. And in general, just add a bit of rim light to everything on this side. Just kind of blending in the shading around this part a bit more. All right. Let's move on to the leg part. So I think the leg part won't be as complicated. Hopefully it won't. So I'm gonna start off by adding in a bit of shadow and gradually blending stuff in. I'm going to add a bit of a shadow near that area. And gonna do a blocking of where the undie is gonna be. Shade it appropriately based on the surrounding shadows, which I've yet to do. Let me go ahead and darken the arch of the back. Rotate this real quick. I'm more used to kind of like this angle. So I press R and then kind of just rotate the canvas a bit. I'm going to be reusing the shadow that I've already came up with on the top half. Let's go ahead and use this dark shadow and gonna just blend that in. basically blending it in. Let's take this, make it a little warmer. Blend that in, as well as over here. And let's go ahead and add a tiny bit of shadow. I'm not sure, should I? I'm gonna test out, maybe should be in highlight, at least for this part. Take this. I'm just going to kind of graze it on this side. Take the highlight and then I'm gonna take this color, apply it here. Get a nice sheen blending. Let's go ahead, emphasize the shadow a bit more, and after I do that, emphasize the blending for this side as well. And we're gonna have to, let's take this color, make it a little more colorful, and blend this out. Take a bit of this color and blend that in. Now I'm going to start cleaning up the legging. Just gonna use the lasso tool so I can make sure it's nice and clean. Rotate this back now to this angle so I can have a proper look here. So I'm gonna go ahead and start painting the leg, and also I'll be adding some muscle definition. Just a tiny bit of muscle definition on her leg, cause wow, can't imagine how hard it would be to do this. And I'm going to also be trying to kind of match up to the shading on the flesh part as well, but mostly I shall be working on the knee area. Let's add a bit of rim light towards this side. Just a light turquoise. I'm kind of trying to think, how am I gonna do this part? Let's go ahead and do a little impression, or actually not indentation, landmark of where the leg will be. Hold on, let me zoom out for a bit. Keep it this way. I want some harder impression or sharper impression of where the muscle is. Trying to get the knee impression and stuff. Alright, so now let's go ahead, add the boots. I messed up on the boots a bit. Okay. I guess I can do a little bit of improvisation here. Kind of, sadly, I'm gonna have to not really match the lines a bit because I kind of messed up on that design. But we shall proceed with this. Darken. Add some drop down shadow. And then going on to the hearts. Do an overall gray and add a bit of shadow and add highlight. Blend the rest out. Going back to a bit more shadow. Let's do this. Let's go ahead, take a bit of the OG color, add a bit of this color right here. Oh wait, maybe I can incorporate it into the shadow a bit. Or actually, let's put this whole part under shadow there. I can do this type of lighting like this. We can have a bit of rim light on this side. See how that works. I mean, I guess it kind of works. Let's go with this type of lighting, and I can go ahead and add a bit more shadow towards the inside of the knee. Blend out the rest. Let's go here. I don't think there's that much to do over here, but let's go ahead and try to add that in. And over here as well, we're gonna start off with adding in shadow. And then kinda have to do a bit of kind of coloring outside the lines, if you will. And last but not least, we have the hearts. Gray base with a bit of shadow. And then last but not least, we're gonna get some highlights for the hearts. So this will be basically the quick shaded version. Let's go ahead, grab this color right here. And we're gonna have it on this side. Darken that up. And blend that out. Rotate everything back. Just going to color that in, and let's go ahead, take this color, her skin tone here, and we're just going to emphasize the highlight of the high point, which is the booty. And let's go here. We're gonna start blending in the back a bit. Select there. We're just going to blend that. Maybe it needs to be lower. I remember I had painted this type of pose once with the booty up, but it was more of a lying down pose. It was the cami piece, the bikini cami piece. So I still kind of remember not too much of how I done it. I need to go back to that piece. But yes, we shall be working on the back for a bit just to figure out, get it as good as we can get. Trying to get a bit of a nope. Okay, so let's hit up auto contrast. Let's add a bit of dull color. And let's do a bit of shadow here. Add a bit of rim light. I'm just going to slowly blend that in. Do this. Yeah, I think that looks a bit better. Alright, so we got the back kind of blended out and whatnot. Needs work for sure, for sure. But let's move on to the face now. Alright, so let's start on the face. Okay, so let's start off with the hair. Trying to get just a bit more shadow on here. As well as underneath it. And just going to blend it in. Blend out the shadow. Let's go here. We're just going to basically add in the rest of the hair shadow. There. And we're going to start adding a bit of shine to the hair. See how it's looking here. Well, there's not much, not too much definition here, so I guess I'll just add a bit of curl. Bring the shadow down here. Bring down the shadow. Let's take this color. Tiny bit of highlighting that area and back here. Let's go ahead and start. Oh god, the face will need to be revamped a bit. Let's go ahead and select this whole face. I'm just gonna darken it. Let's go ahead and start shading the eyes. Okay. Line the eyes. Add eyelid. Let's go ahead and blend the forehead in. add some shadow inside the eyes. I'm going to just add a tiny bit of the hair color reflecting on her face. Add bottom eyelid. I think I'm gonna use pink. Back to the nose, so I'll just use a bit of this color. Use it as a rim light underneath the nose. Get a bit of rim light underneath the lips too. Going to go and darken underneath the eyes. Let's go ahead and kind of use the same color on the body as on the face. I'm gonna go ahead and fill in the whites of the eyes, shade it. I line her eyes and then line the eyelid. Let's go ahead, add the eyelid. I mean bottom lid. Bottom eyelid. Add a bit of highlight underneath and then add a bit of shadow underneath that to create the eye bag, bit of eye bag. And just add some more shadow around. This is kind of how to make up. Well, this technique is quite common with Asian makeup or more Korean / Japanese makeup. Alright, so now I'm gonna take a bit of this color and gently bring it up, and gonna have a bit of highlight on her forehead. Add a tiny bit of shadow on this side of the nose, and perhaps we can have a bit of highlight here as well. And just gonna have the rest of her head transition into shadow. I guess I can have a bit of highlight here. And last but not least, shall we go to the ears? Let's go ahead and start adding some shadow to the ears. Gonna add some slightly bright tone in the eyes. add the little pink tone inside the eyes. Add the shadow for it. Add some more shadow. Around the hair. So the face is kinda done-ish. So this is a pretty rough version of the face. It's not looking too bad. Could add a bit of blush. Okay, let's go back to the top layer. Work on the hair a bit. I'm going to start by layering on some shadow. And trying to stick with the lines, or at least I'll try my best. I'm having a bit of trouble. I think it's since I usually don't really think about how to, make the line art for incorporating line art when painting. That's why when I actually start painting the line art I make, since I didn't make it within mind of incorporating the lines, or subconsciously I'm not used to it. That's why I'm having just a little bit more issues with it compared to artists who are more used to using line art. When they do their line art, they are most likely thinking about how they're gonna add shadow and lighting with line art incorporated. They probably, that's why I think theirs probably turn out a lot better. See, now I'm not even using the lines that much, which is the issue I'm having, since didn't really think too much about it. But anyhow, this phase is now just starting to shade, adding more shadow and whatnot, maybe the occasional blue. Let's go ahead, add a bit of yellow to this area, add a bit of pink to it. Let's go ahead and add a bit of blue to the edge here, and then bring back some of the red, including the orange tone of the hair. Gonna just kind of incorporate it all. Let's go ahead and add some shadow. Take this. Gonna incorporate this over, and I'm trying to figure out if I can use a small brush, and I'm just going to slowly bring in a bit more solidness around here. Blend the bottom. Let's do that. Alright, so let's go ahead and do another step. Oh, copy paste. Step. And yeah, we'll just keep blending it out and stuff. So I'll do a bit of work off camera and I will bring guests back. But in general, I will just be doing a bit of layering here and there, color adjusting and stuff like that. Just kind of continuing the usual workflow until I kind of like the results pretty much. So I will see you guys shortly. Alright guys, we're back. So as you can see, I refined this piece a bit more. However, there's still much to do. So let's get to it. So for this part, I'm gonna start off with the bottom. So we're going to, actually should I? I'm gonna slowly basically remove the lines. I really don't want to, but I guess I'm gonna have to. I can't stand lines. I mean, I did give it a try, but I think I'm gonna work without the lines. So maybe I can incorporate them later. But anyhow, I'm gonna start by basically just cleaning up this portion of the character. So let's start off with the usual. Make a separate layer just in case if I mess something up. I'm just gonna go right to it. I'm gonna add a bit more color and I'm gonna try to actually incorporate a bit of a different color tone to the pink, and basically we'll blend this together. Let's go right here. Gonna darken this part. Darken this up. Okay, let's add a bit more shadow around here. Blend it together. Trying to give the leg a bit of thickness. Gotta keep it juicy. Remove the sketch. Let's go ahead and fix the silhouette there. Hold on a second. Rotate this. And let's go ahead and fix this part. Add a tiny bit of rim light here. Trying to get a bit more shadow going on here. make this area a bit tighter against the strap. Let's add a bit of shadow around this area. Diversify the tone a bit, add a bit more yellow to certain areas. And I'm going to start by adding in a bit of blue as well. Blue, the environment color, just to kind of see if I can start by balancing out the colors a little. In some of these areas it's quite warm toned, and we want it to be a bit cooler. Just balance it out with a bit of warm and a bit of cooler tone. Let's go ahead and add a bit of texture to the undie. Let's go back here. I'm gonna start off by let's add a bit of shadow around here. Merge down here. Go back to the undie. Just gonna start shading it a bit. Even with the undie, I'm gonna add a bit of skin tone. Go back to a bit more shadow. Blend that in. And near this part, we're gonna have some bit of indentation throughout, just a bit everywhere where it's super tight around her, basically. Let's slowly start incorporating a bit of cool tone. Let me go ahead and create a new layer, constrain it down. A bit of cool tone towards the upper area. I'm just going to slowly blend this out as well. Let's take this cool tone. Just going to softly highlight this side. Let's add a bit of cool tone on that side. I have to blend this in somehow. Add a bit more environmental color, and let's add, I'll add the shine later with the texture brush. But so far we're just going to clean up. Bring this highlight over here. And we're just going to brighten this part. Maybe I'll remove a bit of this, actually. I'll keep it somewhat like that. Going back to here. Gonna create a bit of shine on the back. Add a bit more harsh. Add some shine near the center. I'm going to have to use a bit more of the solid round brush. Let's add a bit of this tone. I'm just gonna add it throughout the back area. Just gonna add a bit of rim light to the underwear. Darken that up a bit. And then I'm gonna take a bit of the blue and we're just gonna add it near this area. Gonna really emphasize the indentation a bit more. Let's go bit by bit, so I'm just layering it on. Let's create a new layer. Hold on, let's go here. Use a bit of dissolve so we can add a bit of texture to the booty. Add a bit of shine. Bit here. Bit here. Let's go back to this layer. Merge down one time, merge down 2 times, create another layer. And we shall continue, so add some more rim light. I'm gonna go ahead and line it slightly. Let's go here, add a bit of warm tone. Take this color. And I'm just going to add a bit more shadow around this area. Add a bit more highlights around. Take this shadow, bring it all the way up. And we'll just refine this area. Add a bit of shadow here. Let's see how it would look. Add a bit of blue. I can probably move this maybe here or something. Or actually delete it. I'll just use one highlight. And just trying to figure out let's go ahead, add a bit more shadow around this area. And then a bit more shadow around this area. And just going to blend this part out. Could use a bit more shadow around this part. Add a bit more shadow around here too. Let's remove a bit of that, merge down, and merge down there too. So now we have this. I'm gonna rotate it. I'm just gonna clean up the bikini strap here. Add a bit of shadow around this area, and then I'm going to select that part. Let's make it maybe I'll make it kind of white with turquoise straps. And then I'll just have to just add the shadow in here somehow. Add a bit of highlight. Let me just grab this part. I'm just gonna paint the nude over it. Might be need to be a little darker. I don't know if I have time for this fancy lingerie, but usually I would kind of try to find something interesting. I mean, kind of just experiment with the underwears and stuff with negative spacing such as this and stuff like that. Let's take this. I'm gonna use a bit of airbrush. And then we have the highlight for here. Bit of highlight and then bring the shadow back. Before, after. I'm just going to do this. Let's go back here and do a bit of change. Go back in with shadow. Add a bit of warm tone and see how that goes. Maybe I should bring the highlight all the way down. Okay, just adding some more shadow around this area. Clean up the silhouette. Go down here for the leg now. I'm going to select that area, darken it up. And I'm just blending in the shadow. So this part is gonna be my shadow. Add a tiny bit of, nope. Can try to add. Actually, no, go back to before. Like that. Create another layer. Gonna take this color. And I'm just going to start adding in a bit of shine. Let's add a bit of rim light on the side. not super happy with this. Let me just go ahead and let's do this instead. Make the bottom part of the leg a bit darker, and this part we're just gonna keep it like that. Merge down, rotate this way so I can clean up this side. Create a new layer, and I can work on this side. Oh, that's interesting. Let's go to top, clean this up, go back to the leg. Just going to blend in the leg. I'm using the lasso tool so that it doesn't look too airbrushy. Use a bit of highlight around here. Other than that, I'm just gonna try to clean up the silhouette around. Blur that up. Let's add a tiny bit of texture around the legging. Still gonna add the shadow around. Same for this side. Merge down. Lighten. Trying to get the rim light to be coming from the bottom side pretty much. Clean up the silhouette. Let's add a bit of rim light coming from the bottom here. Merge down. Then let's do a bit of a overhaul on the lighting, so I'm making it a little darker so that we can add some rim light on the side. Alright, so I did a bit of paint over on both legs, just kind of bring down the overall lighting for it, made it a bit more blended out. Alright, so this is what we have now. Let's Let's try to add a bit of like intense highlight somehow. Maybe around this area. Gonna use this color for it. Remove it gradually. I mean, yeah, I think this might be a bit better. Gotta go back to the underwear and kind of work on it a bit because it still looks a little messy. And I'm going to go ahead, grab the original color. Maybe I need to use it a bit more. Bring up the highlight up. Gonna do the lace. Let's go ahead and do a bit of add a bit of negative spacing side the strap to give it that tied up look. Add a bit more highlight around here. Darken that up and then add rim light underneath. And basically just blend or erase the rest away, and also might need to adjust it. That's not really, I guess, okay, just keep it like that, I suppose. Let me see if I can do like a sharp shadow. Shadow part, like right similar to here. Add a bit of this. Add a bit more shine. And let's go ahead and gonna add a bit of blue. actually. I'm not really into it. Not really into this part. I will have to work on it a bit, but okay, probably need a bit more contrast. I will be right back. Alright guys, so I started kind of painting without the line, so rendered out the back, the bottom a bit more. Also, as you can see, I added a bit of gradient to the background, so I think maybe this will frame her a little better, although it does kind of look more like a start of a concept art spread. And I also refined the face a bit. It's still a little messy, but I added some more shadow, refined it a bit more, and took out the lines. Kind of incorporate a bit more painting, but as you can see, it's still a little rough because I basically colored it with line art in mind. But now that I'm not gonna have the line art, I'm gonna have to render it out a bit more. But anyways, I am on the torso right now. So yeah, let's keep going. Rendered out this hand a bit. Still much work to be done. But we'll just go around. Go around and work on her. I'm gonna add a bit of shadow around some of these areas, just so I can add. Oh no, that's not it, so that I can add kind of like a bit of shine. Nope, have to do it differently. But yeah, I wanted to add a bit of shine that way. Let's before that refine this side. I'm going to flip the canvas. Need to change the expression a little later, but let's tackle the neck portion for now. Let's go around, just looking for areas that might need a bit more refining. Probably around here, so actually before I do that, let me go ahead and start to render out the folds a little on the jacket there. Okay, use the lasso tool, just making some of these areas a bit sharper. Add a bit of shadow here. There's There's a little tag. And I'm going to just extend the sleeve a bit. Let's go ahead and keep refining using the lasso tool. Refine the corner over here a bit more. Zoom in here. Alright, time to work on the hand a bit. Let's go ahead by work on the arm a bit. Add a tiny bit of shadow on top of the hand. Add a bit on top of this finger right here. I'm gonna have it sort of in the shadow. Add a bit more shadow. Add a bit of highlight in each finger. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do the nails. Just doing the base for it. Let's give her a bit of French tip. And then we'll have a bit of shine here. Clean up the edge. Add a bit of shadow. And then gonna clean up the silhouette a bit more. Delete. Gonna emphasize the each knuckle a bit more. Go back, add a bit of pinky tone, or just a slightly warmer tone to the hand. Add a bit of shadow to the side of the finger. And just gonna blend out the rest. Bring this in. Clean that up, and I think that should do it. That should do it for the finger. I mean, if we don't zoom in, it will be hard to tell, you know? Go back to this part. Still needs a bit of blending. However, it does definitely looks a lot better than what I had previously. Add a bit of shadow. I'm just going to add a seam on the flaps. Give it a bit more dimension and thickness to the fabric in general. It helps a little. Well, it still kind of looks, well, the fabric itself still kind of looks a little flat, but the seam does seem to, I guess, does seem to help. Yes. I should add it on this side too. Like that. Alright, so there we have it. I want to just add a bit of detail to the hair. Since the hair is like laying right on top of shoulder, just wanted to make sure that the feel is there. Add a bit more rim light around here. I really want to get that feeling of the hair contouring around the shoulder. Let's keep going. I'm just going to add a bit more detail onto this part of the hair. So I want the hair to be slightly tucked in over here. Let's go ahead, add a bit of shine. Add some rim light towards the bottom of the hair. I'm going to just increase the silhouette a bit. Just trying to get that curl going. Let's get a bit of this color on towards the bottom area. Get a bit more of that. And I want the curl to be overlapping. Oh, I don't, doesn't really have that nice curl effect that I'm looking for. Maybe this curl needs to be on the side. I think it'll look better on that side. I'm just going to plop, move this curl on the opposite side. And I'm gonna figure it out somehow. Let's have hair twist like this. Twist this way. I might need to oh, hold on. Maybe like that. Let's do it like this, and we're gonna going to do a little reworking for the hair. So let's have it do something like this. Maybe even add a secondary strand silhouette going this way. Let's add a bit of shadow. Bring this down a bit more. And yeah, just basically cleaning it up. Add a bit of shadow there. So this will curl inwards and that will kind of come from the back and wrap around. Can I do this? See if I can add another silhouette like this. I guess I can. Alright, so this is what we have. Let me kind of play around with it a bit using the warp tool, kind of move it around, move it around a bit. Once I move it around, go back in to paint back some of the detail that kind of died with that or needs to be repainted. But yeah, this is what we have now. The hair over here needs a bit more work, but in general it's coming along. Create another layer, constrain it down. Gonna start applying a bit of the blue tone. Similar to the head, what I'll do is add a bit more highlight. Merge down to that. Let's auto contrast. Alright. Okay. The plane here, the squishy plane, needs a bit of work. Basically, we'll have the shadow on this side. Have a bit of shadow there. Let's add some highlight around this area. Use the lasso tool to help me with indentation, so I'll have a bit of indentation on each finger and then shadow from the hand. Same with here, I'm gonna get a bit of indentation each finger. As for the what's this? Oh yeah, the highlight. I'm gonna move this a bit. And then after over here, gonna darken it up. I'll just extend this a bit lower. Same with here. Copy paste, darken that up. Alright, so check it out here. Gonna do the heart. Let's do one heart and see if we can kind of just duplicate that. Actually, you know what? I'll duplicate the silhouette of the heart. Up here, one up here. Duplicate, and then we'll have one on there and one more on here. I'm just going to go ahead and add the basic highlight. Basic lighting. Then we'll have gonna have a bit more highlight near the high point. And over here we'll have it around this area. Gonna have to adjust the lighting on some of these. This one, make it a little darker. And this one, make it a little darker there. There we go. Alright, so here we have it. So, Sonia. Angel pose. Kind of a little bit modified, but yeah. Alright, I will see you guys in the next voiceover painting process. Have a great day or night. Take care, guys. Bye bye.